Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Today we are decoding Italian rails and we're going to figure out how to get your ticket, how to know what to buy, and what all those crazy words mean getting in through the train station and everything else. First I wanted to let you know that I understand trying a new train system when you don't know anything about it can be really stressful. And I remember my first trip without Pete to Cremona, and I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Cremona, I hadn't seen many pictures of Cremona. I just knew I wanted to go there and I was meeting friends. But I didn't know what it was like, so I had a nightmare one night where I got off the train in the middle of the Tuscan countryside and I was bumping along these Tuscan dirt roads with my suitcase going, where am I? There's no taxis. It was a little stressful. But then when I got there, of course, there was nothing to worry about. So I just want to allay your fears and give you a little familiarity so you can feel comfortable working your way around the Italian train station. And once you've done it a few times, you're going to feel like, oh, this is easy. Old hat. Okay, good. So a couple of words I want to go over. The first one is binari or binario. Binario is a track. Binari is two tracks, okay? So when you're looking for your train, you're going to go, okay, what track is it on? And you'll be able to see on the ticker tape, I don't know what they call those things that show you your train and whatnot. I'm going to put one of those up while I'm talking to you right now. But it says binari or maybe BRI or something like that, but that will mean what track it is. And as soon as that pops up, you know where to go, okay? So, yeah, and then many times these stations will have not so much Roma Termini, because that one's just kind of very straightforward. But like if you're in a station like Scalea or one of the other ones, they have a sottopassaggio, which is an underpass. And then when you walk through the underpass, there's doors, and above the door, there's a little number. It's like 1, 2, or 3. In the case of Scalea, it's only three binari. And that tells you what track you're on. But the centrale stations, Milano Centrale, Napoli Centrale, Roma Termini, those all are kind of laid out like in a row. Boom, 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 boom. And you just walk to your track. Super simple. Not a whole lot of sottopassaggi to deal with. But the smaller train stations do have those, and that's how you figure out where to go. Okay, good. The other word you're going to need when you have a reserved seat is a carrozza. Your carrozza is your carriage. Okay, so once you find your track, you go up and you're standing there looking at your train and you go, okay, good. The next thing you need is your carrozza. Let's say you have carrozza number 9. Okay, you got to look on the side of the train. It will tell you what carrozza number is, and you go find that one and then you climb in. Once you're in the correct carrozza, then you have to find your posto, which is your seat, okay? So it all kind of breaks down. You know, you got your track first, oh good, and then in the train, into your carrozza, okay, good, I found the carrozza. Then you just find your seat, you put your stuff away, and then you sit down and relax. All right, now when you're booking your trip, some Italian words that you may or may not need to know. Durata is the length of the trip, so it might say 4 hours and 34 minutes. That's how long it is. Cambi is changes. That means how many times you're going to get off and get on another train somewhere. May or may not be a wait in between of however long, but that means you're going to change trains. So if you travel heavily, you probably don't want a lot of cambi in there because you're going to have to take all your stuff off and bring it all back on, and it's exhausting. All right, then going and returning is andata and ritorno. So that if you're coming back, you're going to want a two-way ticket, and I'll show you how to do that on the website. All right, now if you need wheelchair access, there's a little I in the website, and it has to do with the train that you're taking. And you click on the I that's going to say more information, all right, or additional details. And it will tell you if you're going to look for a carrozza attrezzata, an equipped carriage per sedie a rotelle. Okay, sedie a rotelle is a wheelchair, okay, a chair of wheels, all right? So if you find one like that, you know you can get your wheelchair on and off of it. There's two main train lines, Trenitalia and Italorail. Trenitalia has the most trains. It's really the most popular. It's, I think, the easiest one to deal with because you have the most options. Now, there's different types of trains, and I'm going to go over which ones they are, trains and train routes, okay? The first is the regionale. These are first come, first served basis. There's no reservations. They're older trains. They stop at every single city along the route, so they're very slow. And they may or may not have air conditioning. If you're traveling in summer, do not take a regionale, okay? A bunch of people stuffed into a train in southern Italy with no air conditioning. It really gets hot. I was on one of them and I will never do that again. Okay, good. The second one is Regionale Veloce. Same thing, only fewer stops. The other one is Intercity. Okay, the Intercity, you do have reserved seats. It's faster. It's not as fast as the high-speed trains, but it's pretty quick. They connect with more destinations than the Frecce trains, which are the high-speed trains. Here, they do have first and second class cars, and you have to buy your ticket in advance. This is where you're going to see your carrozza and your posto. Okay, good. Then they have the high-speed trains, which are the Frecce train. Frecce meaning arrows, okay? You got the Freccia Rossa, which is the red arrow. Freccia Argento is the silver arrow, and then Freccia Bianca, which is the white arrow. So it goes, Freccia Rossa is fastest, Argento is second fastest, and Bianco not as fast, but still plenty quick. Okay, good. Now, with these are all going to be purchased in advance. Again, you have your carrozza and then you have your posto. Very comfortable, really nice trains. They go pretty quick down. And now there are more routes going down to southern Italy. In fact, there's one that stops, there's a Freccia Bianca that stops in Scalea, which is, our stop down there, which is really, really nice. I think it's cut hours off of the trip down to Calabria from Rome. So that's good. Okay, so they have different classes. They have standard class, which is actually very, very nice. It's like a nice airline seat. You get a table, you got your air conditioning, it's really comfy. There's premium, which from what I understand is maybe you get leather seats or faux leather seats. I don't know. I don't think it's a huge difference. The other business and executive class, I haven't been on them, so I don't know. Because frankly, the standard class is really comfortable and I've never had any sort of complaint or whatever with that particular class. What I suggest is purchasing your ticket online, and I'm going to give you a little video that shows you how to do that. It goes through the Trenitalia website and then walks you through all of that. And make sure you take a picture of it because the picture is good for the conductor that comes through. If you show him your picture, it'll have a little barcode on it and he'll just scan it and you're all good. Okay, now always get them online because sometimes there's no one at a station. Like in Scalea, sometimes I've gone there and I've gone, oh, I have questions, or oh, I want to buy a ticket. Nobody there. I had to buy one online and then take it on the train, take my phone on the train with me and have it there. So do that and get it as far in advance as you can. It's just a peace of mind type thing. All right, now some trains, you have to validate your tickets, okay? You buy a ticket and from what I understand, if it doesn't have a date stamp on it, you have to validate it and that puts the date stamp on it. Now, don't quote me on that because I'm still not fully understanding which ones you validate and which ones you don't, okay? I do know on the Leonardo Express, you go to the ticket booth, you get a ticket, you must validate it. Look for the yellow box and shove it in the slot until you hear a ka-chunk and then look on your ticket and make sure it has the date and time stamp on it, because if you don't, it's a 70 euro fine. Pete was telling me the last time he traveled on the Leonardo Express, this is the train that goes from Roma Fiumicino to Roma Termini. That's the main train that takes you from the airport to the center of Rome. So many people take it. It's a great train, but beware, validate that ticket or you're going to get hit because they check everybody's ticket. I've had mine checked every single time, and if I didn't have a date stamp on it, even if you have a ticket, 70 euros. So you want to avoid that. Okay, a couple of tips. First of all, many times in some of the bigger train stations, there are people that approach you and ask you if you need help. These people generally do not work for the trains. They look like it, or they look like some customer info thing or whatever. They're not. I've had people come to me in Roma Termini, oh, do you need help? Well, yeah, sure. Just tell me, I didn't really need help. I could find it for myself. Yeah, I'm looking for binario 10 or whatever, number 10. And usually, sometimes they speak English and they come up and they offer to assist you. Well, they expect a tip, okay? So when you're done, they help you. They go, okay, now tip me, basically. And you're like, okay, well, I could have found it myself. I don't need to tip you, but here's your €1 coin or whatever. I was given €1. That only happened to me once because I learned my lesson. Now, Napoli Centrale, different story. There was a couple guys came up to us, they grabbed our luggage and they said, good, let's take you up to your carrozza, whatever. I thought they worked for the trains. I'm like, oh, what lovely customer service. No, as soon as we got on the train, they got very belligerent and demanded 25 euros for helping us find our train and helping us with the luggage. Belligerent. So they do not work for the trains, and tell them no thank you, or non grazie, or whatever, but don't fall for that. Other than that, I have found other passengers on the trains, or the other people traveling at the same time, have been extremely helpful. I have to tell you this one thing because it was so heartwarming. I was in Milano. I think I was in Milano. Where the heck was I? Or maybe Roma Termini, I don't know. And I was having a rough time with the leg because it had flared up, and I was just not loving life, and I was by myself. And I could not get my ATM card to go in and buy me a dang ticket. It was like a $7 ticket. I'm like, oh my God, okay, my train is leaving. I can't get a ticket. I'm gonna be stuck here for another 2 hours. And frankly, I'd like to sit down and get to my destination, blah, blah, blah. And this beautiful lady came up and she said, here, I'll use my ATM. And she bought me a ticket. And I said, well, here, I started looking for some money to give her. She said, no, regalo, it's a gift. She bought me like a $7.50 ticket and said it's a gift. And I was like, oh, ooh, how lovely. So, you know, occasionally something weird happens or bad happens, but 9 times out of 10, everybody's lovely over there. So I hope this helps you find your way around the train stations. I hope this helps you feel more comfortable and confident about traveling by train in Italy. It really is fun once you get the hang of it. And I think once you do it a couple times, you're gonna be great. So anyway, let's start planning our trips. I'll see you soon. So basically you can see I'm on the Trenitalia site. Over in this corner here, you have a little flag and you can click on English and it will tell you exactly what you want. Here, I typed in Roma Termini. Okay, so you got Roma. Even if you type in Roma, it will come up with all the different stations in Rome. So we like Roma Termini because that's where we're going to be. Scalea Santa Domenica Talau, and then there's the dates and the times, number of passengers. And you click search, and the date format is wrong. It just thinks it's wrong. Hang on one second here. Click, boom. All right, let's see. Come on, thing. Okay, good. And here we are. Here's all your options. It gives you the time it leaves. Remember, you're on a 24-hour clock. How long it is, how many changes you have, what type of train you're going to be on, and the price right here. So yeah, so it's pretty easy to get around this particular website if you put it in English. So I hope that helps you. You're going to, when you receive your ticket, it's not going to come in the mail or anything. What I do is I take a picture of it and put it on my phone so that when the conductor comes through and asks for your ticket, he'll accept your phone or your computer or whatever, as long as he can scan it. So there you go. That's how you negotiate the Trenitalia site, and pretty simple. Okay, and here's a picture of a ticket that Pete dug up for me. It was one of our older tickets. You can see it's the Trenitalia ticket. This is what you receive when you buy your ticket. You get it on your phone or wherever, and I always take a picture of it because this little barcode is what they want. Click. So you can see here, this was from departing from Roma to Tuscolana, which got us to the airport. And so he was going from Tuscolana to Fiumicino. He was going to fly out that day. And here's the hours of arrival and the date. This is second class. This is on Originale. That's the train number there. Ordinary second class. He has a Carta Freccia number, so it gives you a little points, if you're part of that. So there you go. This one does not have like the seat number and the carriage number because it's a Regionale one. So there really is no, reserved seat on that particular one. And we already went over what those are in Italian, so you can look at those. So anyway, there you go. Make sure you have that ready and handy when your guy comes through, and you just give it to him and you'll be fine. Okay.